Hey folks, it's Brian Blessing in Las Vegas, BangTheBook.com. Huge week coming up in college football. We want to talk about some of these key games, numbers, and where we think they may go. We're glad you're with us. Follow along on Twitter at BangTheBook. Follow me at Brian Blessing. Let's go with Florida and Vandy. Now, you saw Florida open an 8-point favorite on the road here. It's down to 7. Total on the game is 48. Could be a number that even creeps down below 7. Possible letdown spot. Florida off the win over LSU. Duke and Georgia Tech. This Duke team is 4-1, extra time to prepare, coming off a bye, and a loss to Virginia Tech. Georgia Tech opened a 3.5-point favorite. This number's down to 1. I think the rest is one of the big factors here. Georgia Tech beat Louisville 66-31, but I think Cutcliffe will have something dialed up here offensively. Total on this game is 56, and I think you could see enough points to get you over that total. Let's go to Louisville and Boston College. Boston College, 14-point favorite on the opener. It's down to 13.5. Question marks with their stud running back, A.J. Dillon. Now, they lost at NC State, but were competitive, and NC State's a good football team, and BC came roaring back in that game with a big push in the second half. Dillon, we'll see what his status is, but maybe BC figured out in the second half of that game what life is like and how to play without Dillon. Total on that game is 60.5. You could see points there as well. Pittsburgh, Notre Dame. Notre Dame, big favorite, 21-point favorite here. Total on the game is 57. The defense is really shaky for Pittsburgh. They did get a win over Syracuse, 44-37. But this Irish team, you got the change at quarterback. They look like a completely different team, and the schedule is extremely favorable for them the remainder of the season. Michigan State, Penn State. Penn State, 13.5-point favorite. Total in the game is 56.5. The good news for Penn State is they were off last week to recover from the punch to the gut. Basically, I believe, given the game away against Ohio State and then the horrible call by Franklin at the end of that game. McSorley's winning the Heisman. On fourth down, you take the ball out of his hands. Made no sense whatsoever. But they still have time to bounce back, I do believe. And you've got Michigan State, who lost to Northwestern, and they allowed 373 yards passing in this game. What do you think McSorley's going to do to him? The total may be in play here. Penn State could rack up a big number. Now, what a game this is going to be. Washington, 7 in the country, lost the first game to Auburn. They've righted the ship. Will they be forgiven enough for that first loss? Only at number 7, I think they got an opportunity, but the teams ahead of them look awfully salty. But it's Oregon, the 1, number 17 in the country. Still have to be kicking themselves, squandering the game against Stanford, but they have time to prepare for this game. Well, they beat Cal, 42-24. Justin Herbert, this kid's a stud. This quarterback, 1,411 yards passing, 15 touchdowns. Total on the game is 58. Oregon could be a salty live dog in this spot. A game right here in our backyard. UNLV blown out at home. Just blown out by New Mexico. Best thing for them is to get out of here. Utah State's a 24.5-point favorite, total 64. Utah State was in a track meet with San Jose State. I think UNLV will reply with a better effort. And another game, I think you see a lot of points in. And not necessarily the case here, but Wisconsin and Michigan. Michigan's a 6.5-point favorite. Just want to let you know this has gone through the key number of 7. It is up to 7.5. As often as it's get it right with who you bet, sometimes it's when you bet that makes all the difference in the world. Checking in on college football, inviting you to check the Sports Betting Podcast with our friend Adam Burke, and follow along right here at Twitter at BangTheBook. Always glad to be with you in Las Vegas. I'm Brian Blessing.